Welcome everyone. Good morning. I am Dr. Anjali Puntir, working as an Associate Professor in the Department of English, NIET Greater Noida, and I'll be moderating today's event. As you all know, we are celebrating International Women's Day. On behalf of entire fraternity of Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, I would like to greet everybody. NIET is one of the premier engineering and management institutions of Delhi NCR. It was established by eminent visionaries responsible for setting up City Educational and Social Welfare Society of Meerut with a vision to provide value-driven education of global dimensions. The institute is managed by City Educational and Social Welfare Society, which runs several educational and health organizations. Recently, NIET has become the first institute in Uttar Pradesh to get an autonomous status. It gives me immense pleasure to announce that we have all gathered here to celebrate International Women's Day. India is a country where women are given the stature of goddess. Women in India are given equal rights as men in the constitution. However, it is not followed by many of us in the society. Each day we read a lot about the crimes being committed against women. Crimes against women are actually a blot on the society, and we must spare no efforts to punish the perpetrators. The protection of women from all forms of abuse and oppression is now moral duty for each one of us. Though women occupy respected positions, if we look closely, we see even they are sometimes exploited. The status of women in India needs the continuous attention of the government and civil society. Our guest of honor, Ms. Archana Tyagi, Assistant Director General, State Reserve Police Force, Mumbai, Maharashtra; Dr. Sarojini Agrawal, Chairperson; Dr. O.P. Agrawal, Managing Director, Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology; Dr. Neema Agrawal, Additional Managing Director, NIET; Mr. Raman Batra, Executive Vice President, NIET; Dr. Ghazala Naz, Head Department of English and Convener, Women Empowerment Committee, NIET. They are actually the role models who are playing an important role in shaping public opinions, thus aiding in the evolution of collective and combined efforts to ensure the security, safety, and dignity of women of our country. UP government's Shakti mission is being taken forward by NIET under the aegis of AKTU. Department of English is also launching our book entitled Online Classroom Opportunities and Challenges on this very special day. We have so many laureates and prestigious position holders, administrators amongst us, who are the iconic personalities working for society. Social work is a field that has witnessed many pioneering women from around the world making radical changes over the decades. I'll now request Dr. Ghazala Naz, Head Department of English and Convener, Women Empowerment Committee, for the introduction about the program. So over to you, ma'am.
Honorable Guest of Honor, Ms. Archana Tyagi, ADG, SRPF Mumbai; Chairperson NIET, Mrs. Sarojini Agrawal; MD NIET, Dr. O.P. Agrawal; AMD, Dr. Neema Agrawal; Executive Vice President, Mr. Raman Batra, Director, Dr. Vinod Kapse, and all of you, esteemed HODs, deans, colleagues present on screen who are viewing this. A warm good morning and a very happy Women's Day. On behalf of the Women Empowerment Cell, NIT, and the English Department, I extend a warm welcome to each of you for participating in this program. This day, the 8th of March, is about appreciating, empowering, and celebrating a woman's contribution to the family, the workplace, to politics, to economics, and society at large. Gender equality, diversity, and inclusion is an integral part of NIT's culture, whose chairperson itself is a woman. It was in 2009 that I was asked by our MD, Dr. O.P. Agarwal, to head the Women's Grievance Redressal Cell at NIT. In the initial years, it was this cell which also overlooked ways to empower the employees and the girl students on the campus and make it safe and secure for them. Then later, the Women Empowerment Committee was set up to look after this task in a more formal and focused way. We have organized numerous activities to help the cause of gender justice, equality, and empowerment. I'm grateful to our guest of honor, Ms. Archana Tyagi, ADG Police, SRPF Mumbai, for accepting to be interviewed by us on this occasion. We are all looking forward to listening to her talk about experiences as a very successful police officer and a homemaker. We have another exemplary woman with us today, Dr. Sarojini Agarwal, MLC, UP State Assembly, and Chairperson, NIT. She is a woman of substance who has lived her life on her own terms and continues to serve society and contribute to the emancipation of women. As a career gynecologist, who would know women better? We look forward to hearing her. Another role model present among us today is a young and dynamic AMD, Dr. Neema Agarwal. A determined, sincere, and empathetic person, she adds vitality and enthusiasm by her very presence, whether at work or at home. I thank all these phenomenal women for joining us today. Before I hand over to our director, Dr. Vinod Kapse, to welcome you formally, I would like to emphasize that without men, women are not complete. It is the whole of humanity, all genders, all races, all religions, all castes, that has to move forward together if we are to make something of this world. About Dr. Kapse, I would like to acknowledge that he is always so willing, encouraging, and supportive of any of our women welfare activities. We all thank him for his kindness in joining us today so wholeheartedly. But before I hand over to him, I would like to recite a few lines from the famous American poet, singer, and writer Maya Angelou's poem, Phenomenal Women, which I dedicate to all women on this day. Pretty woman, wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model's size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies, I say. It's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman, that's me. Now you understand just why My head's not bored. I don't shout and jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say, it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need of my care. Because I am a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I hope all of you enjoy this special celebration, and I hope it turns out to be a memorable experience for all our listeners out there. Thank you so much.
नमस्कार। आज के कार्यक्रम के मुख्य अतिथि डॉक्टर सरोजिनी अग्रवाल, चेयरपर्सन नोएडा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड टेक्नोलॉजी। गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर मिसेस अर्चना त्यागी, SPRF पुलिस मुंबई। एडिशनल मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर नीमा अग्रवाल। एग्जीक्यूटिव वाइस प्रेसिडेंट श्री रमन बत्रा जी, डॉक्टर गजाला नाज, डॉक्टर पूजा त्यागी व अन्य शिक्षकगण, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स। आज के इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे जो मुख्य अतिथि है, चीफ गेस्ट है डॉक्टर सरोजिनी अग्रवाल मैडम, मैं उनका स्वागत करना चाहता हूँ। मिसेस अर्चना त्यागी, गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर, उनका भी स्वागत करना चाहता हूँ। उनके बिजी शेड्यूल में उन्होंने टाइम निकाला और इस कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ाई। मैं मन से उनको धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। एडिशनल मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर नीमा अग्रवाल और एग्जीक्यूटिव वाइस प्रेसिडेंट श्री रमन बत्रा जी का भी मैं स्वागत करना चाहता हूँ और सभी शिक्षकों का भी इस कार्यक्रम में स्वागत करना चाहता हूँ। इस 8 तारीख को जो वुमेन्स डे है, उस जो डे में हमारा जो NIT परिवार है, NIT परिवार का जो वुमेन्स सेल है, उन्होंने इस इनिशिएटिव को लिया और इस दिन पे कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए। जो हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक इनिशिएटिव आया, मिशन शक्ति, उसमें भी हमारी जो वुमेन्स सेल है वो बहुत कार्यरत है। उसके अंदर में बहुत सारे वो कार्यक्रम करते रहते हैं। तो मुझे हर्ष के साथ कहने में बड़ी खुशी हो रही है कि अब जो हमारा सेल है बहुत वाइब्रेंट है और उनमें बहुत सारे वो कार्यक्रम करते रहते हैं। भारतीय संस्कृति में नारी को एक आदि शक्ति कहा गया है और नारी का एक देवी का रूप से सब लोग उनको पूजते हैं। बट अगर वास्तव में देखा जाए तो नारी कहीं ना कहीं तो भी पिछड़ी हुई है। उनको आगे लेके आना हमारी जिम्मेदारी, हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी। अगर आप देखेंगे कि एक परिवार की एक नारी अगर शिक्षित हो जाती है तो वो परिवार बहुत आगे बढ़ता है। तो इसी इनिशिएटिव के तहत हमारा जो वुमेन सेल है वो काम कर रहा है। तो हमारे वुमेन सेल में इस मिशन शक्ति के तहत बहुत से कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए, जिसमें एक मूवी डे था, एक एप्रिसिएशन डे और एक कलर्स डे मनाया है। और हमारे जो इंग्लिश डिपार्टमेंट है, उनकी जो फीमेल फैकल्टी मेंबर्स हैं, वो अपनी एक बुक लॉन्च कर रहे हैं। तो मैं उन सभी मेंबर्स को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं और इस तरीके के इनिशिएटिव्स ले और सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के तहत जो भी नारी पिछड़ी है उनके लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं, इसके तहत कोई अगर अपना एक प्लान बनाए तो हम सोसाइटी को एक अग्रिम सोसाइटी बनाने में हमारा कोई ना कोई तो भी कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन बनेगा। मैं फिर से सभी को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ और हमारे वुमेन सेल को भी बधाई देना चाहता हूँ कि उन्होंने इस इनिशिएटिव को आगे बढ़ाया। थैंक यू।
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। वेरी हैप्पी वुमेन्स डे टू वन एंड ऑल। For the feminist in me, I think each day should be celebrated as Women's Day. But it was, I think, proposed back in 1910. A woman named Clara Jetkins proposed that it should be celebrated, 8th of March should be celebrated as Women's Day. And since then, or the next year, 1911, it was first celebrated in Europe. And so, for more than 100 years now, women have been lauded, we have been celebrated on this day. So that way, we are quite fortunate. The UN chose the theme of this year's Women's Day to be Choose to Challenge. And I find that quite relevant because challenge brings change. And so this is the day to challenge gender inequality and bias, gender bias. And once we challenge it, I'm sure it will change the world and make it more inclusive. I think the gender bias should be addressed right at the beginning in our homes when we are bringing up our children, so that they grow up to be men and women who feel equal and who behave equally. A woman with a voice, they say, is a strong woman, but the journey to get that voice is a difficult one. So I request all of you to lend voices to the women around you, to cherish them, to nurture them, to love them to the best of your capabilities. Thank you.
नमस्कार, मैं आप सभी को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस की शुभकामनाएं प्रेषित करती हूँ। यद्यपि पिछले 50 वर्षों में महिलाओं ने अपने आप को बहुत विकसित किया है और सक्षम बनाया है, फिर भी रिसर्च वर्क ये कहता है कि अभी पूरा एक शतक लगेगा इस बात में कि महिलाएं अपने बराबर अधिकार और अवसर पा सकें और महिलाओं के प्रति जो स्टिग्मा और हिंसा है उसको खत्म किया जा सके। इस वर्ष का अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस का जो थीम है वो है विमेन इन लीडरशिप अचीविंग एन इक्वल फ्यूचर। ये जो कोरोना काल के दौरान हम पूरे विश्व में, आपने टीवी पर देखा होगा, सब जगह देखा कि पूरे विश्व में महिलाएं बढ़ चढ़ कर काम करती रही। चाहे वो डॉक्टर थीं, चाहे नर्सेस थीं, चाहे पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ थीं, चाहे पुलिस में थीं, और चाहे वो घर में रहने वाली महिलाएं थीं, उन्होंने मास्क बनाकर काम किया। इसी तरीके से जिन देशों की लीडरशिप महिलाओं की थी, उन्होंने इस आपदा काल को बहुत अच्छी तरह हैंडल किया। इससे ये सिद्ध होता है कि महिलाओं को जो भी कार्य दिया जाए वो उसको बहुत अच्छी तरह बखूबी उसको हैंडल कर सकती हैं और उस कार्य को करने में सक्षम रहती हैं। मैं ये कहना चाहूँगी कि ये महिलाओं को बराबरी का दर्जा मिल सके, बराबर अधिकार मिल सकें, इसके लिए सबसे ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण 2 चीज़ें हैं। एक महिलाओं की एजुकेशन और दूसरा महिलाओं की लीडरशिप। महिलाओं की एजुकेशन की मैं बात करूंगी कि अब भी देश में ग्रामीण अंचल में बेटियों को लोग पढ़ाना नहीं चाहते। सरकार पूरी कोशिश करती है, निःशुल्क शिक्षा देती है, जूते मोजे कपड़े बस्ता सब कुछ देती है, फिर भी लोग बेटियों को पढ़ने नहीं भेजते। अगर बेटियां पढ़ जाएंगी तो वो आगे आने वाले वक्त में उनके परिवार में उनको बराबर का दर्जा मिलेगा और उनकी बात भी सुनी जाएगी। मैं अपनी बात कहती हूँ, मेरी 3 बेटियां हैं, मैंने तीनों को डॉक्टर बनाया है, तीनों रेडियोलॉजिस्ट हैं और वो बराबर का काम भी करती हैं और परिवार में भी उनकी बराबर की सुनी जाती है। मैं एक बात ये कहना चाहूँगी कि जो देश और प्रदेश के लिए कानून बनाए जाते हैं, जहाँ चाहे वो पार्लियामेंट हो चाहे असेंबली हो, वहाँ महिलाओं की भागीदारी बढ़े, अभी बहुत कम है। जब भागीदारी उनकी वहाँ बढ़ जाएगी तो स्वयं ही ये परेशानी हल हो जाएगी, महिलाओं को बराबर के अधिकार और अवसर मिल पाएंगे। मैं पुनः आप सबको महिला दिवस की बधाई देते हुए अपनी बात खत्म करती हूँ। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Is the only constant thing in this world. During the pandemic, online classes have come a long way and they have become the way of life. Recently, I was able to get through a book which is Online Classrooms, Opportunities and Challenges. It's a wonderful book and which covers in depth the challenges and opportunities which online classroom have given to the complete academic fraternity. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, both in hard copy and soft copy. My heartiest congratulations and appreciation to the author for covering the important issues which are being faced, and I'm happy that country like India had converted online classroom opportunity in a big possibility where everything got into digital. My best wishes for the success of this book, and I hope all people who are listening will love to go and read this. The book is getting launched on 8th of March 2021. It's on Women's Day, and it's a great time where all women editors have written this book. Make sure you read this book.
Today's day is marked as International Women's Day, the day to talk about how powerful a woman is. To celebrate a woman's strength, I would like to introduce all of you to our today's guest of honor, Ms. Archana Tyagi, Additional DGP, SRPF, Mumbai. Ms. Tyagi is known for her powerful and strong decision-making skills. A young girl with soft-spoken manners knows how to deal righteously with criminals and firmly put them in their place is the disposition of Archana ma'am's personality. Ma'am is a 1993 batch IPS and she has been awarded with DG Insignia Award, Mahatma Gandhi Peace Award, Police Medal, DG CISF Disc and President's Police Medal. Ma'am, I am eager to know your journey and success story.
Well, thank you, Pooja, for inviting me, to have a small interaction with you on the occasion of the International Women's Day. Thank you so much once again. Well, I joined the Indian Police Service in the year 1993. I mean, it has been more than 25 years now. And I would say, starting from a nervous young girl, when I joined the service, to a confident woman, I think that is the journey I would like to tell you about. It has been an extremely wonderful experience and a very, very fulfilling experience to be a police officer and serve the society and the citizens of this country. And I have been allotted Maharashtra cadre, though I belong to Dehradun. But, this being an all India service, you go around, any state can be given you as a cadre and you are supposed to work there throughout your life till your career is there, till you are in service. And I am lucky to have been allotted Maharashtra cadre, and it has really given me a lot in terms of life experiences and in terms of how I have grown as a person and as an officer. Thanks to Maharashtra cadre, I would say. Thank you. Yeah.
So wonderful journey, ma'am. Ma'am, how these unique challenges have come across you and how have you faced them? Being a woman in India and then too being a police woman, I think it would have been a very tough journey.
See, life is tough. It's not a bed of roses. If there are roses, then there are thorns also along with that. But I would say, being in Maharashtra, it is one of the most progressive states of the country. So, as far as the gender consideration is there, so I would not say that I have personally faced any discrimination on, any lack of opportunities. That is not the experience. But I would just like to tell, in general, the moment you join the police force, so it is not as if you pass an exam and you join and you're giving a charge or nothing like that. So you have to undergo a very, very arduous training, which is held in National Police Academy at Hyderabad. And that is where your journey actually starts, because that training is what prepares you for your actual job, what you are going to do in the field. So I would say we were in 1993 batch, we were around 80, people there, trainees. And among them, there were 6 girls, only 6 girls out of 80. And so this whole 80 people are divided into squads. So we had 6 squads and each squad had 1 girl. So the physical training, as far as the law is concerned and all those indoor classes is concerned, it's not a problem because we have all got through UPSC. So पढ़ने लिखने में तो सब अच्छे हैं ही. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But as far as the physical training aspect of police training is concerned, that is, everybody is not an equal there.
Right.
Some people have. I mean, I would say 25 years ago in my family we were not the outdoor types. We were, mostly people studying, and even in the schools, though they were PT and all that was there, but it was not really taken up as a very, very, I would say, innate part of your personality. It was just
Right.
somebody would be a good sports person, but everybody was not, into fitness or into sports. And now the times have changed, and I think each family, they encourage their daughters and sons naturally, but even daughters, to be
Yes.
physically fit from the very beginning. So the challenge started from the training itself, because the physical training, it just does not involve PT or parade and drills, and it has rock climbing, it has horse riding, it has swimming. These are the things which we have never done in our life before joining the service, and going into jungles and going for country walks long. So these physically it was very, very, I would say, tough. So how to get through that? So I would just say, one thing I liked about being in NPA, I was not physically very strong from the very beginning. I'm telling you that. The first thing they did the moment we joined, they took us for rock climbing.
Rock climbing.
Okay, rock climbing, yeah, which we had no experience of, but we were slim, young, and not very heavy, things like that.
Not
So,
that muscular.
I would say, not that muscular, but that that rock climbing, you realize that you are better than most of the boys there. You just climb the rock, and it gave such great confidence, I would say. I mean, when somebody asks me about NPA training, I say the first thing they did was, they took us for rock climbing, and that was the thing which made me very confident that I can go through this, tough training part of it. And सब था, पैर में भी दर्द होता था, muscles भी tight होती थी, because when you are not used to it, it becomes difficult in the initial. But then slowly your body, it starts responding, and then you become really tough and muscular and all that. So that is. So I was just talking to you about the squads. This in the squads, 1 girl in each squad. So 1 girl and maybe 12 or 14, boys. So how to go through, because some boys are better than you, but you also realize that most of the boys are not better than you. They are either equal to you or they are inferior to you. Everybody is not that good. So there is no comparisons, And in NPA, the training for women and men is same. There is no difference. So you also have to do the same thing that the boys are doing. So I had decided from how I went through that. I decided that. कुछ भी हो जाए तो छोड़ना नहीं है. Never give up. कुछ भी हो तो squad नहीं छोड़े. If you're running, and so I would say कि your own confidence and your own, that silent vow that I will not give up, and the support of your trainers and the trainees who are there with you. Because I realized, that sometimes when I would slow down, then most of the boys would also slow down. So to keep, pace with you. So that support, I think, yeah. So it is, and slowly, you also improve,
Right.
So then you can increase your pace. So this is something, yeah. So your own never say die attitude and I will never give up kind of a thing. And your support, the support that you get from the trainers and the trainees is what I think make you go through. So this is what I realized during the training period, and I think training makes you so strong, not only physically but also mentally. I mean, these things, your personality traits, your character traits develop there. That what is the value of being together, what is the value of team spirit, because policing is not a job which you can do alone. It's a team effort.
Actually.
So that prepared not only me, I think everybody else also, whether it's a male officer or another female officer, the training did prepare us for the actual job. So this is what is from the thing, that the training part of it. And as far as the actual job concerned, I would say that in Maharashtra, I would not be able to talk about other states, but in Maharashtra, from the very beginning, from the very first posting, I was posted to one of the most challenging and the most difficult subdivision of Western Maharashtra, which is called, the name is Karad in Satara district. Very, very highly communally sensitive, very difficult to handle, a lot of gang wars and all those kind of things. So it is not as if I was given a light charge because I am a woman. They gave me one of the toughest charges, despite being a woman, and that has been my experience till today. I have done some of the most challenging postings, one of the most difficult postings, one of the most, places which everybody wants to work at.
Right.
Okay. So I would say that in terms of discrimination and all, no discrimination at all. Being a woman, if you are good, you get the whatever is given to a male officer is given to a female officer. It is not only about me, it is also about other women officers who are there, senior to me or junior to me or at my own level. So this is one good thing about Maharashtra cadre, that we have been given equal opportunities and we have proved ourselves. One doesn't have to prove oneself, but still, just for the sake of saying, we have proved ourselves that no woman is any inferior to any other male officer. Male officers consider it as their right to get a certain thing, but I think we have been also given similar kind of jobs as a right, not as some kind of an ehsan. So this is my experience in Maharashtra state, and I would say that challenges are there. Policing is an extremely challenging job. We have handled all kinds of law and order situations. I have investigated some extremely heinous crimes, which really dil dehlane wale cases hote hain. I have handled 26/11 also, which is a terror attack. I was posted in Bombay City that time, and drug mafia, all kinds of things. So anything you can imagine about a police officer doing, I have done that. And it's again, I would say it's a team effort, and the team, your jury, from constable to your inspectors and to your bosses, they all have to be together to get a success out of anything. So this is how I would say I have, had extremely good experiences as a police officer serving in Maharashtra. Yeah.
So a very brilliant and very turbulent career, right? You must have made lot of stern decisions as well. So how have you been able to maintain a balance between your work life, profession, and your home? Because at home, a mother has to be very polite, very sensitive, taking care of children and family and people. And on the same time, you are such a strict and powerful police officer, dealing with drug mafias or heinous crimes, as you have mentioned. How have you made a balance in these two things?
Balance comes automatically. See, once you are clear about what you want to do, so I would say in my career till today, I have never brought my work, from office to home. Not a single file has ever traveled with me in my car to my home. If it has traveled from one office to another, it's a different thing. So one thing is that, but policing is a job, even if you don't bring the file with you, things are there in your mind.
In your head.
Yes. You have had a tough day, and, things, it's very tiring also, because you leave for office at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you come back late in the night, hardly any time to sleep, all those things. Now I'm senior enough not to have that kind of life, but in the initial years of the service, that is how you work. There is no time for yourself. So I would say that training in the NPA prepares you for these days, so that you are physically and mentally tough, and deal with this kind of stressful situations. And another thing is support system. It's at home is extremely important. I am extremely lucky to have the husband that I have. I have got one daughter, and at my home, I really didn't have to bring my mother or my mother-in-law to look after my child. That was a very big no that we will not bring them to look after. They're most welcome to come, but we have to raise our own child, on our own. So I would say my husband has been a great support, and both of us have realized that sometimes his career is important and at times my career is important. So this trade-off between the career and the motherhood, when you are becoming a mother, then naturally you will be off duty for 8 to 9 months. So when I went on, I have only one child, one daughter who is going to turn 21 now, and so when she was born, so I took full 8 months of maternity leave. I did not think, okay, I have to go back. I must within 3 months I must join back. I will lose on something. I will not get a posting. Nothing of that sort. If the doctor said that I have to breastfeed my child for 6 months and she should not be having outside food, I breastfed her for 6 months. And and after full 8 months of my 6 months of maternity plus 2 months extra, so this 8 months I gave full time to my daughter. And once I went back to on the job, so we do have a good support system. I have a nanny was there. She still continues to be with us for last 20 years. So she is a big, her name is Padma Bai. We call her Masi. She is a big support system. I always give credit to her also, for a successful career, besides other members in the family. So support system is very important, because without that, you can't really manage. Because sometimes it happens that you don't come, like 26/11 happened. I did not go home for 7 days in a row. I was in my office, in my area, because a lot of things happened, you are all aware about 26/11. Right. And when Ganpati happens, then days together, 10 days, we don't go home. We are working in our area. So in those situations, the support system at home is very important. I'm lucky that one must have it. It's important. And the husband of a woman police officer, I'm lucky my husband is not into, when it was, and when I realized that, yes, I have to take a step back for his career, then I have done that. So I think this balance is very important. And as far as the stress part, because all this leads to stress, it is concerned, I would say I have some good hobbies. Service has, and the training has made me a sports person. Now, so I play squash, I play golf, I am into Zen doodling, I do little painting, reading, gardening. I'm real, khud ki sabji ugana, even in a gamla, So all those kind of things, that help, that helps you relieve that stress. And don't bring your problems at home is what I would say. It helps in that balancing. And you should know what you want, what is your priority at a particular point of time. That realizing all the time you say, I will do all executive posting, it's not going to work. Then your family will suffer. Okay. So somehow things have worked out pretty well for me. I'm lucky.
A really wonderful experience talking to you. I'm really thankful to you, Archana ma'am. I'm able to listen to a lot of things that you do and how beautifully you are handling your work and your personal life. One thing that I want to really know, Archana ma'am, which mentor or role model have particularly impacted you in your career?
Okay. See, one learns from everybody. When you are, in the midst of people, you learn something from a constable also, you learn something from an inspector, you learn something from your bosses. I've been lucky that I've had a very good, my bosses have been extremely good. So you learn a little bit from everybody. But what I would like to say that you must have also watched, you are younger to me, but I think our generation has grown up watching Udaan, that serial Udaan, now it used to come when we were very young.
Yes.
And we used to hear and read, stories about Mrs. Kiran Bedi's work.
Yes.
She was so popular for being the first, IPS officer in the country. So all those things, you read, you hear, it does leave some kind of an impact. You don't realize what is impacting you, at what level. But those things do, come to you in the course of time. So I would say that Udan and Mrs. Kiran Bedi and earlier lady officers, unki baatein suni, stories suni. So you that you also want to join the police force. So that has remained. Those forces, and or those, or what should I say, the values that you saw they are pursuing or the way they are working, they do impact you. So not consciously, but I would say unconsciously, yes. And while on the job, you learn from. I had some extremely, I would say, lovely bosses. My SP in the initial years when I was in Karad, Mr. Ashok Kamte was my first SP. He died, he was martyred in 2611. And Mrs. Meera Borwankar, extremely good officer, outstanding officer. She's retired now. She was there. And after that also, whosoever, with whom I worked, so they did leave some, kind of an impact. Even from the public who comes to you, you learn from them also, something, because हम लोग का जो dealing है public के साथ, sometimes it's at a very, very personal level also. You get to know about their personal lives, and you realize what grit and what determination, people have. Those even victims.
Yes.
So sometimes the victims also, you don't learn anything from the accused, but yes, from the victims, you do learn a lot of things. So I would not pinpointedly say one or two people, but yes, overall, many, many people have impacted. And what I have learned from them is that, sincerity, hard work, dedication, commitment, and giving everything to your job. It's something, which is really, really essential in a service like police service, because here you have got so much of authority, you have got so much of power, and somebody's life is in your hand. It's a very, very responsible job. So all these things, I think, have stood us good stead so far.
Right.
Yeah.
Ma'am, now we are almost towards the end of the interview. What message would you like to give to our viewers? A lot of students and lot of academicians are there online with us today on this International Women's Day. So please say some message for
I
us.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what message to give. I would only say one thing for the girl students, that, sky is the limit. You have to realize your potential. You should know what is your potential, and nothing should hold you. Sometimes you have that confidence levels are low. No, nothing. You can achieve anything under the sun if you stay focused and you know what you want to do in life. It can be anything. You want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a sports person, you want to be a teacher, you want to be a police officer, anything. Just stay focused. And so this is for both, actually, not only just for female students, it's also for the male students. And academicians are doing their job, they're teaching and giving the values that our students, the youth must have. So I have no doubt about that. To the society, I would say that, in the times that we are living in, there is so much of knowledge, there is so much of information. I mean, it's information age. So what we were exposed to, we are exposed to now. Our kids are getting exposed to that at a very, very early age. Okay. So I would say that be friends to your kids. That's very important. Now the parents have to be, the partners. As some ad comes, the parent has, I think Byju's ad comes, which says the parent has become a partner, something like that. Otherwise, we used to be scared of the father and the mother, but now parents have become friends. So I think that's very, very important in order to keep our youth, in one piece. I think that mentally they are much more, the challenges are very, very different from what we used to face. This is my personal take on today's situation. And the society must give equal opportunities to both the girls and to the boys. Girls are no less than them. I have told you in my interview also that I realized that many male officers are much inferior to us in whatever, whether it is physical fitness or whether it is, knowledge. So you are no less than anybody else, and women must be given equal opportunities. Then only this country will progress and it will become what we want it to become. I think that's the message I would like to give, and happy International Women's Day to everybody who has joined us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Archana ma'am. It was so nice to talking to you, and your talk was so informative and so inspiring. I'm sure many of our girls are going to make you a role model. And though I know you for a long time, and I know that how strong and powerful you are. So lots of happiness to you and lots of more power to you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
On behalf of NIET family, I, Dr. Pooja Tyagi, would like to extend my sincere vote of thanks to our guest of honor, Ms. Archana Tyagi, for sharing her powerful insights with us. Ma'am, your talk was very inspiring and motivating for all the wonderful women on the campus. I heartily thank our Honorable Chairperson, Dr. Sarojini Agrawal, Managing Director, Dr. O.P. Agrawal, Additional Managing Director, Dr. Neema Agrawal, Executive Vice President, Mr. Raman Batra, Director, Dr. Vinod M. Kapse, Head of the Department English, Dr. Naz, for sparing their precious time and gracing the occasion. I, along with my co-editors, Dr. Devi Archana Mohanty and Dr. Naz, heartily thank NIT's management for providing a conducive environment and allowing us to work on this book's project. We are very thankful to all the authors to share the informative insights in completing this book and make it available for everyone's reference. I would especially thank my dear colleagues Dr. Yusuf Mehdi and Mr. Vishal Kumar for their extended support and for sharing all the technical responsibilities. Without your help, we would not have been able to conduct this event so beautifully. Since we opted to run this event online, as still COVID measures are to be seriously taken into consideration. My heartfelt thanks to all the members of the English department for their all-time help and boost. Finally, I would like to thank all our audience for joining us and making this event a success. Thank you. Thank you once again, everyone.